Alright riders, let's cut through the noise. Everyone brags about horsepower, chrome, and gadgets. But here's the truth, none of that matters if your bike leaves you stranded on the side of the road. Real riders know the only flex that matters is reliability. The kind of bike that fires up every morning, chews through miles, and keeps going long after you swapped helmets 3 times over. So today, we're diving into 10 motorcycles so reliable, they will last forever, and you will be handing them down instead of trading them in. And here's the twist. We're not just talking about the usual suspects. We're starting with 5 underrated machines that don't always get the spotlight, but seasoned bikers know they're built like iron. Then, we'll move into the legends, the bikes that redefine reliability itself. But before we roll out, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Join our growing biker crew so you never miss the stories, the laughs, and the bikes that keep us riding together. Alright, let's fire it up and hit the list. Number 10. Honda Africa Twin CRF1100L. If motorcycles had passports, the Africa Twins would be filled with stamps. This bike is what happens when Honda decides to build a machine that can handle just about anything. Crossing deserts, climbing mountains, or slogging through downtown traffic. With its 1084cc parallel twin, you're looking at an engine that balances power and reliability like few others. Riders consistently log over 100,000 miles with nothing more than oil changes, filters, and the occasional valve adjustment. And if you opt for Honda's DCT automatic transmission, it gets even more user-friendly while still keeping that rugged spirit. What sets the Africa Twin apart is its versatility. It's a serious adventure bike that's equally at home carving through twisty pavement or grinding over rocky trails. Drop it in the mud, dust it off, pick it up, and keep going. It's designed to survive. The only caveat, this bike is hefty. At more than 500 pounds, it's not something you want to wrestle out of deep sand without a buddy. And the seat? Let's just say it'll have you daydreaming about padded shorts after a long day. But if you want a machine that feels ready for anything, the Africa Twin is your ticket to ride anywhere, anytime. Number 9. Yamaha FJR1300. While BMW's touring lineup hogs the spotlight, the Yamaha FJR1300 has quietly built a cult following for riders who want bulletproof reliability with sport bike performance. This 1298cc sport touring machine is a highway dominator, built for riders who chew up thousands of miles at a time. Shaft drive means no greasy chain maintenance, and the engine? It's practically unkillable. Owners routinely push these bikes to 150,000 miles or more, and they keep asking for more road. The FJR1300's real magic is how it balances comfort with capability. Load it up with luggage, a passenger, and point it at the horizon. It'll cruise at 90 miles per hour all day without breaking a sweat. The chassis is surprisingly agile for a bike tipping the scales at over 640 pounds, and the suspension is plush enough to make cross-country runs feel like day trips. Yes, it does get toasty in traffic. Your legs will feel the heat radiating on a summer day. But once you're rolling, it's smooth sailing. The only real downside is its size. This isn't a backroad scalpel, and parking lot maneuvering requires a steady hand. But for the rider who values confidence, longevity, and no-nonsense performance, the FJR is a legend in disguise. It's the kind of bike that won't just take you across the country, it'll do it again and again without ever complaining. Number 8. Kawasaki Ninja 650. The Ninja 650 doesn't get nearly enough credit. When most riders hear Ninja, they picture high-revving, track-hungry machines built to scare beginners. But the 650 flips the script. It's approachable, comfortable, and ridiculously dependable. Kawasaki's 649cc parallel twin is one of those engines that just doesn't know how to quit. It's been used in multiple bikes across their lineup, and it's earned a reputation for being smooth, durable, and easy to maintain. That's the secret sauce: simplicity. The Ninja 650 isn't chasing record lap times or horsepower bragging rights. Instead, it's built for riders who want a practical all-rounder. It's sporty enough to be fun, forgiving enough for newer riders, and cheap enough to maintain without stress. Chain maintenance, oil changes, and the occasional valve check are about all it asks for, and in return, it'll give you years of trouble-free riding. Now, is it the most thrilling bike out there? Not really. Hardcore sport bike fans call it tame, but that's exactly why it lasts so long. It's not overstressed. The Ninja 650 proves you don't need extreme performance to be a reliable, enjoyable motorcycle. It's the kind of bike you can ride daily, take on weekend trips, and know it'll always be ready to roll. Number 7. Triumph Bonneville T120. Here's a machine that combines old-school charm with modern engineering. The Triumph Bonneville T120 looks like it belongs in a 1960s magazine ad, but underneath that classic styling is a thoroughly modern motorcycle that just keeps on ticking. Its 1200cc parallel twin is tuned for smooth, low-end torque rather than screaming horsepower, and that's part of why it's so reliable. It's not pushed to extremes, it's designed to deliver usable, everyday performance that doesn't wear itself out. Owners love how low maintenance the T120 is. Basic servicing, oil, filters, and chain adjustments will keep it running strong for years. Triumph's build quality has come a long way from the dark days of questionable electrics, and modern Bonnies are as dependable as any Japanese rival. On top of that, you get a bike that looks timeless, rides comfortably, and turns heads everywhere you park it. Of course, nothing's perfect. The suspension is a bit basic for the price point, and Triumphs aren't actually bargain bin cheap. But the Bonneville T120 nails the balance between reliability and personality. It's proof that you can have a bike that's both practical and packed with style without sacrificing durability. Before we dive into the next pick, let me ask, which of these bikes would you trust for a cross-country trip? Drop your answer in the comments. And while you're there, hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. We've got plenty more two-wheeled wisdom coming your way, and you don't want to miss it. Number 6. Harley-Davidson Road King. Now here's a Harley that earns its place on a reliability list. The Road King might not be the flashiest in the lineup, but it's been the workhorse for police departments across America for decades. And let's be honest, if a bike can handle years of police duty with officers putting it through daily punishment, it can handle your weekend rides just fine. That reputation comes down from Harley's Milwaukee 8 engine, a torque-rich V-twin that's understressed, air-cooled, and built to last. Riders routinely report Road Kings running well past 100,000 miles with nothing more than routine servicing. Oil changes, filters, and tires are about all it needs. And if something does go wrong, Harley's dealer network means parts and help are easy to find. On the highway, it's smooth and stable, soaking up miles like it was born for touring. Throw on some saddlebags, and you've got a machine that can take you across the country without breaking a sweat. Now, let's not sugarcoat it. This bike is heavy. Parking lot maneuvers will keep you humble, and if it tips over, you'll be phoning a friend to help lift it. But once it's rolling, the Road King is rock solid. It's the kind of motorcycle you don't just ride, you build a long-term relationship with it. Dependable, comfortable, and proven, the Road King has earned its crown. Number 5. Honda Super Cub. You can't talk reliability without mentioning the Honda Super Cub. This little machine has been quietly dominating roads worldwide since 1958, and with over 100 million produced, it's the best-selling motor vehicle in history. Why? Because it's simple, tough, and nearly impossible to kill. The air-cooled single-cylinder engine sips fuel, shrugs off neglect, and can keep running for decades with just basic maintenance. For many riders around the globe, this isn't just a bike, it's transportation, livelihood, and family heirloom all rolled into one. But here's the thing, don't expect speed. With displacements ranging from 50cc to 125cc, the Super Cub was never built for highways. It's happiest weaving through city streets, delivering packages, or carrying you to work on pennies a day in fuel. And comfort, let's just say you'll know exactly where every pothole is after a long ride. Yet, that's not what makes the Super Cub iconic. It's the fact that it just keeps going, no matter what. If you want flashy performance, look elsewhere. But if you want a machine that's outlasted wars, economic crashes, and every motorcycle fad you can think of, the Honda Super Cub is the definition of reliable. It's not a bike you own, it's a bike you pass down. Number 4. Suzuki DRZ 400. If reliability had a dirt-stained superhero, it would wear the cape of the Suzuki DRZ 400. Launched in 2000, this dual sport has barely changed in more than 2 decades. And that's not laziness, that's Suzuki knowing they nailed it the first time. Riders praise it because it's simple, rugged, and ridiculously easy to maintain. Its 398cc liquid-cooled single-cylinder isn't a powerhouse, the Suzuki DRZ 400, but it's tuned to last, not to win drag races. With regular oil changes and a valve check here and there, these bikes rack up tens of thousands of miles without breaking a sweat. What makes the DRZ so appealing is its flexibility. It's light enough to play in the dirt, steady enough for backroad commuting, and just reliable enough to serve as a long-term daily rider. Many owners mod them with skid plates, exhausts, or oversized tanks. But the truth is, it doesn't need much. Out of the crate, it's already one of the toughest dual sports around. Now, it's not flawless. The stock seat feels like sitting on a 2x4, and for a bike that hasn't evolved in 20 plus years, it still carries a price tag that makes riders raise an eyebrow. But when you factor in its durability and fun factor, the DRZ 400 is the kind of bike you'll keep in your garage for decades. Not because you have to, but because you want to. Number 3. Yamaha XT500. Some motorcycles are famous for their speed, others for their style. But the Yamaha XT500? It's earned its reputation by surviving punishment that would break most bikes in half. Back in the late 1970s, it became a legend after conquering the Paris-Dakar Rally, an event designed to destroy machines and humble riders. Sand dunes, rocky terrain, scorching heat? The XT500 shrugged it all off and kept thumping along. The secret is simplicity. The 499cc 4-stroke single is about as straightforward as engines come. Air-cooled, durable, and easy to wrench on. There are no complicated electronics, no fragile parts waiting to fail. Just a reliable thumper that starts, well, most of the time, and runs forever. With routine care, these bikes routinely clock 50,000 miles or more without major issues. Of course, it's not perfect. The Kickstarter has humbled many riders, especially when the engine's cold or you're tired from a long ride. And comfort? Let's just say the suspension and seat weren't designed with luxury in mind. But here's the thing, none of that matters to XT500 owners. What matters is that the bike is as tough as nails. It's the kind of machine you trust when the road disappears and all you've got is grit, fuel, and determination. Number 2. BMW R80 GS. Adventure riders love to argue about which bike started it all, but if you trace the roots of the modern ADV scene, you'll end up staring at a BMW R80 GS. Released in 1980, this bike didn't just define a category, it created one. With its 800cc air-cooled boxer twin, shaft drive, and long travel suspension, BMW R80 GS. It was the first machine that could chew up highway miles in the morning and then plow through dirt and gravel all afternoon. What makes the R80 GS legendary isn't just its versatility, but its toughness. These bikes are known for covering 200,000 miles or more with just routine maintenance. The shaft drive means less fuzz, the boxer engine is under stress and easy to work on, and the whole package feels like it was engineered to last longer than most riders' riding careers. Drop it on the trail? You'll curse while lifting it, but the bike itself will probably be fine. Sure, it's not perfect. At nearly 450 pounds, it's not exactly nimble off-road. And the exposed cylinders on the boxer engine will remind you just how wide they stick out if you dump it in a rut. But despite the quirks, the R80 GS remains the blueprint for every big adventure bike that came after it. This isn't just a motorcycle, it's a milestone in reliability and endurance. Number 1. Kawasaki KLR 650. If there's one bike that deserves the crown for reliability, it's the Kawasaki KLR 650. This dual sport isn't just a motorcycle, it's a survival tool. For decades, riders have trusted the KLR to cross deserts, climb mountain passes, and haul gear across continents. The US military even used a diesel-powered version for reconnaissance, which tells you all you need to know about how tough this platform really is. At the heart of the KLR is a 652cc liquid-cooled single-cylinder that is as basic as they come. No fancy electronics, no fragile components, just a big thumper that'll run forever with regular oil changes. Owners routinely log 50,000 to 80,000 miles without touching the engine, and many report well over 100,000 miles. It's not fast, it's not glamorous, but it will always get you home. Of course, you'll have to live with its quirks. It vibrates like a paint mixer, the seat feels like it was stolen from a park bench, and at nearly 450 pounds, it's a hefty machine for technical trails. But none of that matters when you're 1,000 miles from home and the KLR is still thumping away. When the world ends, the cockroaches will be riding KLR 650s. So there you have it. 10 motorcycles so reliable, they'll keep going long after lesser bikes give up the ghost. From overlooked workhorses like the Ninja 650 and Bonneville T120, to legends like the Super Cub and KLR 650, these machines prove that reliability isn't about hype, it's about trust. But now I want to hear from you. Which bike would you trust on a cross-country trip with no backup plan? Did your favorite reliable ride make the list, or do we need a part 2? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I love reading your stories. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and join our growing biker family. We've got plenty more two-wheeled wisdom, rants, and laughs coming your way. Until next time, ride safe, ride often, and remember, it's not about the miles on the bike, it's about the stories you create along the way.